The exhibition here is called Singing Clay. I mean, that's a really sort of evocative way of explaining the clay. And what would you say to a lay person? Why is it singing clay?
It has a sound to it. So if you take a pot and you give it a slight spin, it has a wonderful, almost bell-like sound, which I associate to singing clay. But also, when you work with it, it has a noise, and when you work on the wheel, it's a very calming, very almost sensual craft to do. And while you work, you have to, you know, be really focused and really calm, and sort of I listen to music to get to that sort of level of relaxation. Because when I'm angry or when I'm in turmoil, I can't work. It's
almost like a meditative thing.
It is, yeah. In many ways, yes. First, it is important to prepare the clay well. I use porcelain and get it together, and then it gets a good kneading. By turning and pushing it, it already gets the same motion as the wheel. And then on the wheel it goes. Against the friction of sticking to the clay. And the first motion is to center the clay, because it has now sort of wobble, and you want to get it as centered as possible. Then I can start opening it up by pressing my own thumb down in the middle, so it can become a vessel. Once opened, it gets widened. I establish the inside of my pot. I can't go too deep, otherwise it would have a hole. I love the material, the softness of it, but at the same time how fragile it becomes once it's fired, and how it at the same time again can last centuries. I love that every piece is an individual piece. I don't compete with a machine, I don't compete with things that have been mass manufactured, and that every piece I can pick it up and I can show you exactly what I've done, and my style of throwing and all that. That is what is important for me. There's no point in trying to be perfect, and there's something beautiful in being imperfect.
So that's the Japanese
sort of
wabi-sabi
sentiment, yes, very much so. Then it can become a jug. And you take your wire like flossing, and then you go for it. I'm quite new to the society. I only have been a member for 3 or 4 years, so I feel very proud to be amongst these great potters. We are 10 potters, all from East Anglia, sort of local people. We are all members of Anglian Potters, which is a pottery society. We all made 10 pieces, so that adds up to 100 pieces. That's hence the name 100 Ways of
course, yeah.
Perfection.